Hey there, Unsolved Mysteries fans. Wayward Legacy back at you with another video. So, this is kind of a different case. This is a different kind of case, that I've never really done before. It's going to be a ghost case actually, and I've done different cases in the past. Like I covered a couple of different UFO cases and stuff like that. And upon reflection of all that, I've decided that I'm going to make a separate series for this stuff. But also, I will include Unsolved Mysteries cases in it as well, like these type of cases. So yeah, like anytime I do like a case that's from Unsolved Mysteries, it'll be in the Unsolved Mysteries playlist, and also in this new series playlist, which I'm not sure I'm gonna call, which I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it yet. But once I come up with a name for it, and I'll let you know about it in my next video, or whenever I know about it in any number of my videos. I'll let you know. Now I've said this before in a couple of different those UFO videos. I believe in the paranormal and aliens and stuff like that. Stuff that most people don't believe, and there's stuff that a lot of people don't believe in. I watched. I'm a big sci-fi fan. I've watched X-Files. I watch Supernatural now. Maybe that has a little bit of a part in me believing as well. But like even before I started watching those, I was always interested in, like, even from this show, Unsolved Mysteries. Unsolved Mysteries kind of furthered my my interest in the ghosts and the paranormal and UFOs and stuff like that. So that kind of furthered my belief. And before I start into this case, I kind of want to get into a little personal story of mine that has kind of furthered my belief. So about 5 years ago or so, I lost my dad to cancer, and that was pretty rough. It was a rough time, and it took me a while to kind of find myself through it again. And I was pretty close with my dad. And I don't want to turn this into a big kind of sob story, but it kind of leads into this whole sort of thing anyway. So I was pretty close with my dad. He taught me guitar. We did a lot together. I remember we'd stay up till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning watching music DVDs. We'd go four-wheeling together. We hung out together a lot. We were just that close. We weren't as close when I was younger, because back then, I was kind of always in my room, gaming and stuff like that. But as I got older and I started, getting interested in more stuff like guitar and stuff like that, like we were close, but we were never as close as we were, in my, mid to, like from when I was like 13 to 16 when I lost him. And so we were never really that, like, we were close, but we weren't as close, and like we weren't, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but we weren't as, I guess, tight, I guess you could say, as we were before. Like, we had always been close, but we hadn't been that close. And just because music and stuff like that, just kind of brought us even closer to what we ever were before, or more than we ever had been before. And as I got older, we could drink and stuff together. And that was always fun. That was always a fun time. But yeah, I was very close with my dad. And, I was devastated when I lost him. And I don't want to turn it into a sob story, but I just, like I said, it kind of leads into this. So anyway, just a couple of occasions, really, or a few occasions. I remember one time, my cousin Cole and I we were playing guitar, and we were in his room, and there was nobody home but us, and we were just, I don't know what song we were playing. I think it was Old Man by Neil Young, I believe, actually. And my dad loved Neil Young. He loved a lot of different music, and I remember we were playing, and there was nobody else home but us, and we were playing guitar, and then this box just kind of slams down off the I think it was a speaker or something, and that he had like a cabinet or something like that, like like a TV stand, and he had like a stereo up on top of it. He had like this box that was sitting on top of it, and it wasn't like leaning like off to the side, you know. It was like perfectly straight on the speaker, and the speaker was like it was about, I don't know, that big or so. And yeah, we were playing guitar, and it just kind of flew right off, and we didn't know what the hell that was, and obviously we didn't cause it, and you know, there was nobody home, so you know, we don't know what happened, but you know, I believe, you know, that was him. I don't, you know, just kind of, I don't know, maybe telling us a good job or something. You know, I don't know, but you know, to this day, you know, I've always thought that was him, because you know, that was around the time we had lost him, and you know, it was a tough time. You know, like I said, you know, pretty much music got me through that time, but you know, I think that was him. You know, a lot of this kind of has to do with you know, music and stuff like that, and you know, I can name another occasion. Now, you know, I remember, I don't know, this was about the time, you know, when I was still living with my former stepmother and my stepsister, and you know, we've kind of drifted apart, you know. You know, my stepmother got remarried and stuff like that, but yeah, you know, it's not really a big deal, you know, and I kind of distanced myself from them now, but you know, we still talk every now and then, just not as much. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to turn this into a sob story or anything, but you know, I just points and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if we were coming home, because we were still living in the house that, you know, that we had lived in when he was alive, and you know, I hadn't moved out yet, and you know, we were still pretty close. I think this was it was a few months, or I don't know, maybe half a year since he had passed, maybe. But, and I don't know if we were coming home or if we were leaving to go somewhere. I think we were coming home. And you know, my dad, like I said before, my dad and I, we watch music DVDs, right? You know, like I said, I can remember countless times, you know, him and I just stand up, you know, sometimes till 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, watching these different concert DVDs, blaring it up, and we'd be pissing off my stepmother and my stepsister, you know, because, you know, they had to work the next day, but we didn't care because we were having fun. And so, you know, one of the many music DVDs that we watched was Sheryl Crow, and you know, my dad had really gotten into her music. We watched that DVD numerous times. And anyway, like I said, I forget if we were coming home. I believe we were coming home, but you know, we were walking through the door, and you know, we were taking our shoes off, and then, you know, bam, the Sheryl Crow DVD starts playing, and it was actually one of the songs which she had liked, which is "Good is Good and Bad is Bad." Or "Good is Good," I think is what the song is. Yeah, you know, good is good and bad is bad, you don't know which one you had. That one. So yeah, and, you know, that was one of his favorites by her, and that song had played. The DVD had turned on, and you know, like I said, we were still at the door, you know, taking off our jackets and our shoes and whatnot, and that DVD came on, and that song came on, which was the one that he liked. And so, you know, that's just another instant, and you know, obviously, you know, I thought, and you know, they think as well, that that was him, and you know, I still to this day think that was him. And you know, I can remember, you know, my dad was really close with my stepmother's family as well, and you know, I'm still very close with them. You know, like I said, you know, I'm not really close with her, but I'm still close with them as well, and you know, I go see them quite a bit. But you know, my dad was pretty close with my uncle, and you know, they played guitar and stuff like that, and I think my uncle was playing like PS3 or something like that, and like the TV would just like the volume would go down, like nobody would touch the remote, the volume just went down. And you know, this would happen like numerous times, like, you know, like if my cousin was watching TV or something like that, or I was there and we were watching something, you know, like the volume would just randomly go down. And you know, to this day, I think I think all of that stuff was him. And, you know, that kind of furthers my belief into the paranormal and stuff like that, you know, and even he believed in it as well. Like, he believed in UFOs and stuff like that, and, like, reincarnation and stuff. And, you know, I think that also has furthered my belief into it as well. And, you know, I didn't want to make this whole video about that, but, you know, it was something I thought I'd share that, you know, is pretty personal to me, and, you know, it just furthers my, furthers my belief into the paranormal and UFOs and stuff like that. And, you know, like I said, this video will be in Unsolved Mysteries, and it's going to be in another series which I, you know, started up as well. And I think the first video I'm going to do for that series, well, after this one I should say, is I used to watch, well, I still watch it every now and then. It's a show on Netflix. It's called Unsealed Alien Files, I believe is what it's called. It's something like that. I know that. If you guys know the show, let me know. But it's an awesome show. It talks about, like, you know, stuff that the government has apparently, you know, filed over the years. And you know, these guys who had created this show, you know, kind of released it. And there was one case that I remember specifically that, you know, kind of got to me. They were talking about how the government had found alien corpses, like the skeletal remains of aliens under in Vatican City, where, you know, the Pope is, like, under that like under it in the underground. And yeah, I guess, you know, people have never really seen it or anything. But yeah, like, people are like the government, I guess, is very protective over it. And, you know, it's a really cool show, and if you guys haven't watched it, I recommend, like, if you guys are fans of this kind of stuff, I recommend checking it out, because it is an awesome show. I believe there's also a ghost one as well, but I could be wrong about that. But anyway, enough of my rambling on. Let's get into this case. So, this case is about the Highway 50 Phantom. Now, this case, I believe, was of a woman who had crashed her car, and she had her son with her, and she, I don't know if she had flew off the road or something like that. I've got the case, you know, as usual, in Unsolved Mysteries Wiki up in front of me, so I'll read that out to you. But yeah, I kind of wanted to give the summary of it. But yeah, what I believe happened, and it'll most likely tell what happened in this case. You know, I don't know if she swerved off the road or something like that, but she had, you know, she went off the road anyway, and, you know, she ended up passing away. But her child was still alive, I believe, and you know, there's more to it than that, but you know, I'll get into that right now. So basically, I'll give you the history of this case. Okay, so motorists described seeing what looked like the naked ghost of a woman at roadside on Highway 50. Local woman Deborah Hoyt was traveling east when she reported that what she deemed to be the naked figure of a woman on the side of the road at Bullion Bend, I believe is what the road is called. Although it may have been a mannequin, the police searched the area that night and found nothing. But in daylight, an officer found Christine's car lodged in the brush, out of the view of the road where she had crashed. She was deceased, but her son survived for 5 days before he was found. He later told the authorities that his mother had stayed with him in the wrecked car. The report of the apparition led to the discovery of Christine Skubish, who had died in an accident off the road, and her 3-year-old son, who had survived by highway patrol. This leads many to wonder what figure the witness saw while Christine was already dead and fully clothed and seatbelted in the wrecked car. It is believed that the ghost might have been Christine trying to save her son. So basically, this is the background of the case now. So in 1994, Christine and her son Nick were driving to Carson City to meet a friend of Christine's. When Christine failed to arrive, her father got worried and called the police to investigate. Her aunt eventually described having a dream of Nick, adding that it was dark with some lights, and the number 16 kept popping up, like 3 or 4 times, eventually calling the police to search for them on Highway 50. 17 years later, all Nick can remember is the crash and his family. This case was also featured in the series Paranormal Witnesses. So yeah, you know, like obviously, you know, it's not like normal unsolved mysteries, so you know, it can't really be solved or anything, but you know, and you know, obviously I can't come up with a theory, but you know, I can tell you my opinion on it. You know, that's, you know, you hear stories of you know, people passing away, and then, you know, kind of being, you know, put into, like, you know, just kind of drifting out of their body. You know, you see it on TV shows and stuff like that, like Supernatural and like the X-Files. You know, you see people, you know, kind of like, you know, drift out of their bodies and become ghosts. And, you know, I believe that Christine was what this woman had saw. I believe that, you know, my voice is kind of messing up here for whatever reason. But anyway, I believe that, you know, she had, that she was laying on the side of the road like that, you know, to get attention, so, you know, people could find Nick. So people could find Nick and save him, you know, because, you know, she would want him to be saved. So, you know, I believe, you know, that the aberration that this Deborah Hoyt had saw was Christine. So, you know, I really don't have too much to say about this case, but, you know, it's an amazing case for sure. And, you know, it's been a while since I've seen it, but, you know, I remember it pretty well. And yeah, you know, like I said, I do believe that the ghost was Christine, you know, trying to save her son and get attention to it. And, you know, it's it's pretty amazing, you know, that that Nick had survived. What did it say here? That he survived 5 days. You know, it's phenomenal. You know, I believe, you know, she, you know, kind of stayed there and watched over him until, you know, he was found. And you know, she couldn't. I don't think, you know, she could go off into the next into the afterlife or the next life, whatever you want to call it, the flip side. You know, there's lots of different words for it. Heaven. You know, I don't believe she could go on to the next chapter, you know, until she made sure that her son, you know, was okay and safe. And then once she knew she was able to, you know, go to the other side. So, you know, that's what I believe. You know, like I said, you know, I believe that this apparition was her, you know, trying to get attention so people could say, so her son could be saved. You know, like I said, you know, this case is pretty brief. You know, I could go on more talking about it. You know, just because it's it's just one of those phenomenal cases, you know, and you know, that are like that. So, you know, I figure, you know, this is a good case to start off this new series, as well as to do an Unsolved Mysteries. You know, I kind of wanted to do something different, and sorry guys, my throat is just keep getting, you know, stuff caught in my throat here, but now here we go anyway. So yeah, you know, I wanted to do something different, and you know, this was something different because, you know, I'd covered UFOs before, but I'd never covered ghosts, I should say, or the paranormal. And, you know, like I had stated in those previous UFO videos, you know, I believe in this stuff, and, you know, I've kind of always wanted to talk about it. I've just never gotten around to it till now. And you know, so yeah, you know, like I said, you know, this case is pretty brief. You know, I've given my thoughts on it now. You know, that's pretty much all I gotta say right now. If you guys know more cases like this, you you know, that you would like me to do. You know, whether it's Unsolved Mysteries or, you know, some YouTube video or part of some show, you know, let me know, because, you know, I need more stuff for this series as well. So, you know, if you guys could, you know, kind of let me know of any cases that are, you know, kind of similar to this, or like UFOs, or, you know, any kind of legends like that. Because it's not just gonna, like, this series isn't gonna be just, you know, the UFO and the paranormal. It's gonna be like legends. Like, I'm thinking about talking about Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, and the Chupacabra, and stuff like that. So, like, if you guys have, like, any legends or paranormal or UFO related or alien related, you know, type of stuff that you would like me to talk about, let me know, and you know, I'll research it, or I'll watch stuff up on it, and, you know, I'll do my best to you know, get my you know, my thoughts and opinions out to you, you know, on the different case, or the different subject. So yeah, it's definitely going to be it's going to be a thing that you're going to be seeing a lot more. You know, not just on my channel, but also in the Unsolved Mysteries. The Unsolved Mysteries, you know, playlist as well. So, you know, I figured, you know, because I've been kind of, you know, trying for like a couple of days now. You know, people have been wanting me to do, you know, more cases and stuff like that, and, you know, it's you know, and normally I cover like you know, the unsolved murders and the missing people and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm thinking about it now, you know, I've almost done pretty much everything, you know, that I've seen on Unsolved Mysteries. You know, there's still some cases, you know, that I haven't done yet, but, you know, they're ones that I haven't seen in a while, so I'd have to, like, refresh my mind with them. And you know, so I was kind of running out of, you know, cases that, you know, I know really well to do. And then, you know, I came across this case, and I was like, yeah, you know, I know this case pretty well. I've seen it a few times on Unsolved Mysteries, and, you know, I've always wanted to do something about ghosts, and, you know, kind of now is my opportunity. And so, you know, so there'll be definitely, you know, more stuff like this in this series, in the Unsolved Mysteries series, and in this new series that don't know what I'm going to call yet. If you guys have any suggestions for names, let me know, and if I like it, I'll take it. And you know, even if or if I come up with something as well, you know, I would appreciate your ideas and stuff like that. So, you know, so let me know. And, you know, like I always say, you know, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, comment. You know, I'll comment back to you. If you guys want to send me a message or something, you can do that, and I'll respond back to you as well. As usual, my Twitter and PSN link will be in the description. I believe I'm gonna be streaming some more Grand Theft Auto San Andreas later tonight, so you can look out for that. And yeah. Also, if any of you guys are GTA 5 players, the Biker DLC came out today, and I actually got a clubhouse now, and my MC is called Wayward Sons, and, you know, I'm looking for people to join, you know, people that are good experienced GTA players. So, you know, if you're interested in joining me, you know, add me on PSN, and you know, I'll see if we match together, and if you're good, if I think you're good enough, you know, I'll let you in the club. So yeah, you know, that's pretty much all I got to say for this video right now, and you know, I'm excited for this new series, and, you know, I'm excited to do more cases like this. So, you know, that's pretty much all I got to say right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Wayward out.